Hi. Hi. It's the Carmen Scott Show. Carmen Scott Show. So today I want to talk about quality. Quality. Quality stories, quality of life. This is something I think about on the regular, and I think it's important. There is this quote that the quality of our humanity is equal to the quality of stories we tell. Boom. And I really believe this is true on an individual level and on a collective level. We know how powerful stories are. How many of we buy things because of story. We buy things because of how things make us feel. Side note, I sold cars for 3 years in my life. It was a very, I said, for 3 years in my life, it was a very interesting chapter and I learned a lot. And I think one day in a sales meeting or like training, they were talking about that price is like number 7 or 8 on the list of factors in people making a decision in terms of buying a car. But like all of the I love coaching, I love mentoring, I love training and trainings. It's so cool. I love that whole industry. This is another side note. But all of those people sell with stories. It's stories that sell, it's stories that drive us. Our lives are a story. Welcome to your life. It's a story, right? Everything, a belief is just a story that we told, is a thought that we've a belief is just a thought that we've thought over and over again until it becomes a belief. So everything really is a story. Our lives are a series of stories. And then when you think about our culture, stories impact our culture. So on an individual level, my life is a reflection of the stories that I've been telling myself, the thoughts, the beliefs that are going on in my mind. And then as a culture, as a humanity, our what we see is a reflection of the stories that we're telling. It's also why media and entertainment is so important, whether you consider yourself a movie, a television person or not. I know that there's a lot of people out there who have unsubscribed from a lot of the major streaming services. We all still love movies. It's like my aunt still watches old reruns of The Nanny because they're so funny and she wants to watch that, but she's not really interested in anything that's coming out right now. They're not new. And I also think that the reason that we're seeing so many reboots and rebrands of old IP, intellectual property, is not necessarily because we love that brand so much. Like, part of me feels like it might be that the quality of storytelling was better. There's some fantastic shows out that I love right now. I've seen some amazing movies. On a whole, I do feel like the quality of stories were just a little bit better. There were movies that I watched over and over again. And we see a lot of, well, what's going on in the market or trends that you see, and there's a lot of horror. There's a thing in the entertainment industry that horror sells. If you want to make money, make a horror film. There's nothing wrong with horror, but if that is what people are creating because they think that's what you need to make in order to sell, it's not really what story is on my heart to share? What do I feel compelled to create that's a story that people need to see and watch and feel. And again, there's some amazing stories out there, but it's just a something to think about. There is a difference between eating orange flavored candy and eating a raw organic orange. One of them is nourishing One of them like is feeding your body and one of them is not. It's a chemical substitute for this thing that's beautiful and real and grows from a tree. I read on the internet, so take it with a grain of salt, that watching short form, like these just bits, has a worse effect on your brain than drinking alcohol. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm not saying that short form content is bad. And for some reason, my body, like when we talk about content, because people used to make art. And then somewhere along the way, I don't even know when this trend happened, probably with the rise of social media, where we went from making art to making content. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, good or bad. I'm just saying it's something to think about. It's a conversation to have, which is why I'm putting up on this YouTube. So even when I find myself saying things like creating content, it feels a little in my body. And I'm also not one of those people who just um, there's avant-garde doesn't mean that it can't be commercial, but I want to create things that people watch and also make money. I don't believe that we have to choose between creating art and having something that's commercial. There are people that feed both, where they do well in terms of making money and they're high quality and people want to watch them. And quality means something different to different people. So again, it's just something to think about. Quality, the quality of stories we tell, the quality of our life. Our life as a human is an experience. This is like a pretty neutral statement that if you are breathing, if you are a human watching this, you are having a human, mm, you're having an experience, a life experience. And the quality of that experience is different for so many of us humans. I might have not hit exactly what I wanted to say, but I just wanted to share my heart. I've been saying I was going to do share more on YouTube. And so I'm just filming these videos and uploading them and sharing from my heart this idea and this conversation around quality of life, around the quality of stories we tell, around the quality of experiences that we create and provide. It's it's all about quality. Going back to quality, the higher quality of stories that and beliefs that I have in my mind, the greater quality of life I'm going to get to live. And we, as a species, can tell better stories. And we, as a species, will create a greater quality of life for all of us. And I have this crazy vision. Like, if someone were to say, what's your dream for the world? What's your dream for humanity? That would be that each and every individual lives their own unique version of happily ever after. Because happiness is not a finite thing that some people get to have and some people don't. It's this belief that some get to have and some don't. And is it idealistic? Yes. And the greater the vision that we have for humanity, for peace, there are a lot of people that do believe that peace on earth is a possibility. And some people would say that's idealistic. But what's wrong with having high ideals? What's wrong with creating a vision where we don't kill each, where we don't have kill each, where we don't kill each other, where we don't have war? That's a higher, to me, that's an example of a higher quality of life. And if we don't have the vision of that, then we can't ever move towards it. The closer, the more people that believe that peace is possible, the more energy we have in creating that. So it goes back to quality of life, possibility, the stories we tell, the stories we watch. There is a reason why I don't watch um I don't watch any reality TV. There are some shows that are of higher quality and they're different, but for me it a lot of these trash shows that people watch and are very popular normalize treating people not well. They're not. Because people think that you have to have, or that clickbaity people will watch the more drama there is. And some people like to watch that because it makes them feel better about their own lives, you know? So there is that. And some people like it. I just choose not to watch that stuff. There is one show with that is going to have a may supposedly going to have a certain woman on it that I'm very interested in watching. But overall, quality of life, quality of stories we tell. And look, if the media wasn't valuable, if media and entertainment wasn't powerful and valuable and important, then Blackstone wouldn't have bought Hello Sunshine for $900 million. dollars. Hello Sunshine is Reese Witherspoon's company or was Reese Witherspoon's company. So it's just something to think about. How about them apples? I hope you have a conversation with somebody or leave comments down here. Thank you so much for watching, tuning in to the Carmen Scott Show. I'm going to make more videos. I'm going to keep sharing what's on my heart and what's on my mind. Perfectly imperfect. Y'all, BDE energy, best day ever. Sending you so much love.